to construct a customer function, we need to go to the advanced editor to see the underlying code for the current page. So we're going to introduce this new parameter called page as a text format, and then we're going to plug in this page parameter into this URL. And apparently last time we already identified the place where we should plug in this page information. So here, so we need to replace this 3 with that page parameter. We also need to replace this 3 with that page parameter. Okay, so so this 3 is going to be replaced by page, but at the same time you need to do the connections or concatenation to piece up all the individual pieces of the code together. All right, so the first piece of code is going to stop here. Then we're going to connect it with this number 3 or the page parameter. Then we're going to use the ampersand sign again to connect it with the second piece of this code, which goes all the way to here. And again, we're going to use the quotation mark to basically single out this piece as one piece of string. All right, then it's gonna be connected again by this ampersand with another number 3 or page parameter we're going to use to replace it. So now we have basically again, as I said, this piece of the code concatenated with this page parameter. Then we're going to concatenate with another piece of the code. All right, and lastly, we're going to add this page parameter to the very end. Again, connected by this ampersand mark. So now we have this URL set up embedding this page parameter. Okay, the page parameter was set up as a text, so that's why we need to use this ampersands to connect each piece of the string together. Okay, to become an entire URL. So now this is done. Let's just click on done, and we'll name this. This now becomes a customer function. See, it's a function kind of a symbol here. So call it no, I'll call it swim. Hammer-long swim headphones. Okay, that's gonna be the new name for this customer function. Next, we need to build a list of page numbers. So right-click on this blank area in the query list and do a new query and a blank query. And we're going to make a list. So we're going to use this this function called the list numbers. Yeah, list numbers, and we're going to, so the list numbers is going to take several arguments. The first is going to be the starting point. It's going to be page 1, of course. The counts we probably extract like 3 pages maybe. Okay, and the third one is going to be the increment. The default is going to be 1, so page 1 followed by page 2. Okay, the increment is going to be 1, then followed by page 3. Okay, so you can ignore this increment if you're just taking a sequence from 1 all the way to 3. Okay, however, if you want to be more precise or specific, yes, you can just type in a 1 for the increment argument. So that will give you a list of 3 numbers. Well, maybe you want a 5. So let's see. Okay, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to extract 5 pages from that website. So next we're gonna change this list to a table. All right, change it to a table. The reason you want to change it to a table is that then you can just make sure the format is correct. So remember, the page number is set up as a text format, so you need to change this to text. such that when those numbers are plugged into that URL, it's going to be part of the string. String means a kind of text format. Okay, so it's going to be part of the string and eventually concatenated to become this whole URL address. So this is done. Now let's just run on this column of numbers. I'll rename this column page. All right. So I'm going to use the add column and the invoke customer function. The new column name is not very important, but the function query, you are going to use the Amazon Swim headphones customer function to retrieve the data. So choose that function name. And the page number is going to be based on this column called page. Okay. So I'm going to click on OK. So it's gonna work out, but it's gonna take a few minutes because I need to pull 5 pages of data. Turns out it's pretty quick. So now you can see for page 1, we put out a table from Amazon. For page 2, we put out another table. You can expand this table. See, there's different items you can pull out from that page, right? So you can load all the items. So we want all of them, and we don't need the original column name as a prefix. So you can uncheck this box, and then click OK. So now you have for page 1, all right. You have all the products, you have the rating, the number of ratings, and the price. Then for page 2, you have another list of products, the ratings, and so on and so forth. Page 3 as well, you have all the products pulled from that page. So that's pretty much what we have here. So let's rename this query 1 as page 125. Okay, so this is gonna be the way you can pull data from Amazon. Of course, before you leave, you should go to home. In the query editor, go to the home tab and close and apply this entire process. Then it's gonna direct you back to the desktop window, and the data is gonna be loaded into the file. Again, it's gonna take a little bit of time because there's a lot of data. All right, finally the data was loaded. You can check here this table pulled from Amazon, and you can check the table view to see the entire list. Okay, so finally you can just go to the file tab and save it in a location that you prefer. Okay, so before I wrap up, I just want to say one more time, when you use this web scraping by giving examples to Power BI to retrieve data, make sure you give enough examples so that Power BI can figure out the list or the exact information you will try to retrieve. All right. Sometimes you need to be patient, give like 3 or 5 examples. Okay. Then Power BI may figure out what exactly you want. Okay. Sometimes you just need to give 1 or 2, but sometimes you have to be more patient and give more examples, such that Power BI can figure out the information you actually try to retrieve. Also, after Power BI responded with the whole list of information, check at least 2 or 3 examples from that list to see whether Power BI's response is exactly what you wanted. Okay, Power BI will suggest a list, but sometimes that list is just what Power BI think you want. Okay, but what you want may be different from what Power BI thinks what you want. All right, so you want to verify whether Power BI's suggested list is indeed the list of information you try to retrieve from the website. Okay, if you find there's kind of errors, okay, in certain elements of that list, the information provided is not actually what you wanted, you have to correct that particular element in that list. Okay, give the correct example to Power BI, such that Power BI may eventually figure out what mistake it has made and get the correct information you try to retrieve. All right. So sometimes you just need to do some trial and error and correction to make this process work. But overall, this process is very powerful. Make you kind of enables you to just tell Power BI the exact information you try to retrieve from a website and make this process very efficient.